what's up, everybody? We here with Super Engineer B.
Oh man, yeah. Engineer B in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, man? What's up, CDUB?
Good. I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to be working with you today.
It's a pleasure working with you, man.
And I've been noticing, man. I try to do a little engineering myself, but I don't consider myself as like an engineer. I know some knowledge of some things and how to do some stuff. But this man right here, this is what he does. This is this is someone if you're strictly trying to be a audio engineer, then you want to pattern yourself after someone like this. So I mean, to the upcoming engineer, someone who's just getting into like buying software and learning Pro Tools and stuff like that, what would you say is like one of the most important things they should know, or they would want to get into learning, or like what's the fundamental thing that you would say you have to know this?
So I mean, first thing I'm gonna say, you can't be camera shy. So it's like first thing I want you to do is just get familiar with being behind the camera and just get comfortable. Because I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. So I mean, that's the first thing you want to do as an engineer, because it's like moments like that that catch you off guard. And then second, I mean, I would say, just pretty much make sure you know what you want. Don't try and get what people tell you is good, because what other people tell you may work for them. So if somebody tells you need an Avalon, or somebody tells you need, U87, I mean, that's like $5,000. Don't feel like you need $5,000 to sound good. I mean, I know people that use $200 mics and like $300 preamps, so that's $500. So pretty much the first thing I tell you if you're just starting into this is pretty much just try and learn the fundamentals, learn like what EQs, compressors do, versus saying, yo, I need to go out and get that $3,000 Avalon or whatever type of preamp that somebody tells you.
Do you recommend like softwares like Pro Tools and Logic to newcomers, or do you recommend something on a lighter scale, or is it cool to start off with something like that?
I mean, yeah, it's cool to start off with it, because what that does is that gets you comfortable. So while you're practicing on your own time and your own money, you're pretty much just getting comfortable. So when you get to a studio like South Beach Studios, you're comfortable with Pro Tools HD. So yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend the Pro Tools and the Logics, the Reasons, even the Fruity Loops. A lot of my clients, they use Fruity Loops, so it's pretty much
All right.
whatever you want to use.
Now I've been noticing, man, like you're like the king of you like the edit king, like, and I know editing can be very important, and editing can take a lot of time in the studio.
Yeah.
And I think some of the best engineers are the ones who can get it done fast. You can tell them what you need, and they can do it quickly.
Yeah.
So to kind of talk about what makes a good editor. I mean, I'm sure knowing uh, your commands and stuff like that, your hotkeys and all that kind of stuff, plays a big part of that.
Yeah, it plays a big part, but really it's just like practice. Like if you never had the move of the last 8 of somebody's chords to the first 4, when somebody asks you to do that, that's gonna sound crazy. Like the first thing you're gonna do is think about it for 5 minutes, because you're like, yo, why don't they just go and re-sing it?
Right.
But most of the times they're not trying to re-sing it. They just want you to do it real quick so they can hear how it sounds. So I mean, like you said, the commands will help a lot. Pretty much just trying to think ahead of the client and just getting comfortable with, okay, somebody's gonna ask me to move this word to the first part. Just kind of be expecting that, and I feel like if you expect it, you'll just kind of know what to do, and that'll make you quicker.
Now, do you recommend a lot of people have some people have controllers, control the software. Some people just use a mouse. Like what do you recommend? I mean, is it cool to just use what you got, or is it easier for you if you have like even if it's just a small controller with a few faders or whatever to kind of get you into the mixing mode?
I mean, it's really whatever you need. Me personally, I mean, I'd rather spend $3, $5, $10,000 on outboard gear that you see over here versus spending on a project mix. What's the other one? DigiDesign, a Command 8, a 003.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'd rather even a Control 24. Pretty much what those do is just make it easier for you to control what's going on in Pro Tools.
Right.
So I mean, if that's what you need, I mean, if you feel like that saves you time just moving faders, most people are hands on, so more people want that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like
Cool.
it's whatever makes it easy for you.
All right, cool. Well, since we're talking about this rack right here, can you kind of explain to us what some of this stuff is? Because we walk into the studio and you see all this crazy stuff on the wall. So let's kind of just start at the top. What is this stuff? What is
So
this?
basically, what these are, the PCM 42s. These are like $3,000 units. What those do, those are like the reverbs. Like as you see right now, it's tapping. It's pretty much tapping right now because these reverbs are meant to be synced over here. They're meant to be synced.
So what is that right there?
That's pretty much like another controller for it.
Oh, okay.
But it's pretty much meant to be synced with the vocals, whatever you're putting a reverb on it. So it pretty much just gives you more hands-on versus the reverb, the R verb, the D verb.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the PCM does. This right here is like a mastering equalizer. Like this is amazing. Like what that does is that pretty much gives you like any type of bandwidth you wanna get at. Pretty much like precision equalizing at its best. Like no phase. You can pretty much boost 10 dB at 2K, and then what's gonna happen is it's not gonna be no phase in it. Versus some programs, if you add 5 dB, you're gonna get like a little bit of phasing, and it's not gonna sound good. So that's what that does. This over here is pretty much like a limiter and compressor, the TLA. These are Brenna Vrel, old school, probably older than my mama. Like it's crazy. That's all I can tell you. Like it's a compressor. Pretty much what that does is like an R compressor only on steroids. Then over here you have preamps. This is actually what we're using today in the change the knees. Pretty much everybody's familiar with the 1034s and the 1063s. All of these pretty much reverbs. So over here, compressors, 1176s. These two, all four of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then over here, what do we have? Over here we have a gate. So you're using kick drums, you're macking up the band, you run them through the gate, and then you just set the settings however you want it. Then over here, the same thing, another limiter. Like this is a mastering limiter. This is a $10,000 limiter.
Wow. So that piece of equipment right there is $10,000.
$10,000. Pretty much this whole side right here. We got like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20,000, 30,000, 45,000. These are 2,500 each. So pretty much this side here is 75,000.
Wow.
And then you go over to this side. Now you have kind of like more compressors. You have an optical compressor, stereo. Then over here you have the tube limiters, and then you have the tube equalizer. So this is like a dope lunchbox. As you see, it has 6 pieces of gear. So it has 4 limiters, and then it has 2 stereo equalizers. Excuse me. Then over here we have the TLA compressor, another compressor. Then we have more equalizers over here. These two got the knees, and I don't even know what this is. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Prism. So you got a prism equalizer. Then over here, more equalizers, more preamps / equalizers. And then over here you got harmonizers. The studio's not a studio without the Eventide harmonizer.
Right.
And then you have the new console, backroom power supply. That pretty much everything's hooked up to the powers.
And this board here, like, what's the deal with this board? It's like a huge board. Let me back up so I can try to get the whole thing.
So this board over here is pretty much the SSL 4000. Pretty much, this is with the G Plus computer.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the latest board, but with everything modded, this might as well be the latest board. Like, I don't know if you see these channels. These are 8 channels right here, but these channel strips, you rarely ever see them. So what makes them so dope is it's actually, this one channel is a stereo channel.
Wow.
That's why you have something like the mono and the reverse of the stereo. So like these right here are 16 channels right here. So it's like, I never even seen nothing like this until last week whenever I worked over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 56 tracks of just equalizers, SSLs, and pretty much, a lot of people probably wondering what all this does. Once you know one section, you know all of them.
Right.
So the top section over here is basically pretty much the gain.
Mm-hmm.
You got the compressor section. You got the threshold section, pretty much like a gate. You have your filters, your low pass, high pass, equalizers, pretty much the same thing that you see on the SSL plugin that's cracked that everybody
Right.
probably got. So once you know one, all of them are the same. The only thing that's different is this section over here. This is the mastering, the master section, communication center.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you got the big knob to control the mains, the NS10s, the SSL computer, whenever you're trying to do recalls. Then the SSL bus compressor. Then
Speaking of the NS10s,
yeah,
because I see there's two sets of monitors here. You got these NS10s and you got these big jumbo Genelecs up here at the top. I can't even hardly fit the whole thing on my camera. It's so big.
Yeah.
So why have two sets of speakers? Like, why do they have a small set and then they have a big set? Like, what's up with that?
Well, main thing is for, like, I guess when you're listening, you don't want to be sold on the NS10s. You know, you want to get them to sound good on the NS10s. And then once you got everything done and you're like, I'm pretty much done, then most people will go to the Genelecs. Maybe it's a club record. They want to feel like they're in a club. So now they're going to play it as loud as possible and see if everything holds its own.
Right.
Whenever you have problems with stuff stepping on another, sound, and that's when it's like, all right, you make adjustments. Then you spend probably about 10, 15 minutes on them speakers, and then you go back to the NS10s, and then you just make it make sense on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much like mixing on both of them, but I mean, most people only mix on the NS10s. Most people, I've seen people mix only on the main, so it's pretty much whatever you're comfortable with.
All right, and then just one last question for you, and this is a section over here that just looks like a bunch of snakes.
Yeah.
The patch that died.
That you see with the SSL is pretty much gonna have this. And the dope thing about it is, like, this is my first time seeing this batch bay, but I have worked on plenty of SSL, so the colors, the first thing I notice is green. Mm-hmm. That's always the multi-track returns. So pretty much what that means is that's the output of Pro Tools.
Okay.
So most people are like, yo, I want to mix on the board, but they mix on the board and they don't know how to get their sound to the board. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they don't know how to get their sound back in the Pro Tools. So pretty much what that does is I got it going from the outputs of 1 and 2 into 25 and 26. Mm-hmm. And then you see how we have on 25 and 26, we have Pro Tools. So that's pretty much what that patch bay is doing. These patch bays over here is patching in all the reverbs that you're seeing over there. Mm-hmm. All the
stuff that's on the wall is being patched through this patch bay right here.
Correct.
So that's why it can be over here. And these are what basically connected to the software and to the hardware.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough light, but if you came over here, you would see like pretty much all the cables. And now you won't even see all of them because they got it cleaned up so nicely back there.
All right.
But it's a lot of cables. Back there, like from this whole room. You got stuff over here. Like these are prep stations. Mm-hmm. Like so you can have a Pro Tools system over here. Then you have another system over there. So pretty much the assistant can be prepping over here. Mm-hmm. Somebody else be doing something over there. Then I can be working over here. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So y'all see this man knows what he's doing. He just basically took us. A little bit. He basically took us, gave us a summary of the. I would think this got to be one of the top 5 studios here in Miami. Yeah, definitely. And he took us through it in just a matter of minutes. So, man, give your like your Twitter info, man. If somebody wants you to work for him or something, man, because
my Twitter is MRB _ the blender. I'm pretty sure he's gonna type it up there. Yeah, Mr. B _ the blender. That's my Twitter. So.
Cool.
Yeah, holla at me.
Well, man, I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man.
Next pleasure,
time,
man.
You gotta try me again whenever I get better and being on the camera, man. So.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, man.
Work on the camera time. So, we pretty much forgot the most important thing, like how everything is ran. We got the 192 converters over here. Got 3 of them. Then we have the old 888 in and outs. And then over here we have the tape machine.
Wow.
So everything, see the reels. I don't know what the extra reels are. Down here.
A few of them down there.
And over here, this is where we got everything running at. We got everything touching this interface first. As you can see, we got signal. And then it's going into the converter. So that pretty much makes everything warmer.
So everything comes through this tape machine first?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's nice.
That's an SSL computer and all that.
So this room was probably worth about
$250,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. How you feeling, Tiffany?
Everybody, Tiffany J.
Hello.
She was supposed to be here asking me the questions, but I don't know what happened.
She got ghosts.
They kind of took over the theme, you know.
That's all good though. She's probably eating chips somewhere.
I am eating. I'm always eating.
And here is Mr. Gary.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
What do you do, Gary? Tell everybody what you do. Who you are.
Everything.
You do everything.
Rap, engineer sometimes,
That's good.
chill sometimes.
All right.
Sometimes I don't do nothing.
That's all right. Well, Tiffany, how's everything going?
Going very well. Love South Beach Studios. Very awesome place to record, as you can tell. Great environment. So,
They take very good care of us.
yes, very
You
good.
know, this stuff was laid out for us. You don't get this in every studio. This is like, you know, this is first class treatment here. So,
You want me to ask Mr. B some questions?
sure.
Some more questions?
I asked you some questions.